Okay, so now our unique stores are done, which are by far like the most modeling work that we will do. And now what we're going to do is we're going to work on like some generic stores. And I pretty much am going to make them like two long, like two of these pieces long. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So we can have 3 stores in general. And then of course down here we have like this empty space, which I will just throw in some lights in just a little bit. So let's go to Maya. And what I can do is I can turn off unique store 01. And I can simply grab my, where are you, wall bend over here. Yeah, that should be fine. So we can just use this one to make our snapping easier. So if we have this one, we can just do a Shift D to duplicate. Artist to a new layer and just call this generic store underscore 01 and press save. And then turn off the original. And now it is just as simple as duplicating this again. Rotating this by 15 degrees over here. And doing, just like in Unreal, a snap to points. And snap it. There we go. So now we know that this is how it looks in Unreal. And honestly, for like the very first generic store, we can pretty much just grab most of the stuff that we have from our unique store over here. And these generic stores, you cannot actually walk inside. So I can just grab all of this stuff. And let's see, do I want to have like pillars here? I don't. Yeah, I don't think I actually need pillars. So I can just go ahead and I can, turn off snap to points. Hey, where's my pivot? There it is. I can just grab this, right click and add this to my other layer over here. And honestly, at this, set the axis orientation to world over here, because else it doesn't work. Oh no, wait, that still does not work. Sorry, it's a little bit buggy. What you can try to do is, or you can just do like a quick combine, or you can try to go to manip, and manip will basically rotate everything as like one solid object, as you can see over here. So pretty much the only thing that I need to do for this is I need to keep a small sliver of wall left on this side and on this side, and basically just make everything fall in line with that. So if I go ahead and now, for example, delete all of this stuff, because I know that this one is also bent, and delete all of this stuff over here. It should just be a matter of grabbing this, and let's get started by just, oh, of course, I need to, let's just do a very quick close hole. I don't need to do anything special for now. I just want to get this over with quite quickly. So fill hole. Grab all of this stuff. Try and place it quite closely into place, and we do need to do like some manipulating later on. But here, I think that's like a pretty good rotation. Let's go ahead and push this back. Move this forward over here. So this is basically going to be like the end of the wall. And then we will have this continuing on. This piece over here, what we can do is we can select the top and just move it down a little bit. There we go. So we move that down. So we keep all of this stuff in here. And you probably guessed what we're going to do now. We are just going to select all of this and do a lattice. And set this one to be on the U. Yeah, on the U division. Let's set this to, I don't know, do I want to do 5? Maybe I just want to do 2. Maybe I just want to only have it on this side so that I can carefully grab this. And push this back. Like here, see? So that should still go along the curvature quite nicely. So we got this one done over here. And then we can later on just make a variation of this for like the second generic one. I don't know yet. I will probably just do like big windows or something like that. So let's grab this. Let's remove my history. I need to close the hole on this side. So fill hole. There we go. So that stuff is pushing out. And that should already be fine for like our first generic wall. If you want, you can do something a little bit more special on this side. But I will do that in the final. I will not do that right now. And then what I can do is I can just double check that everything is in my generic store 01. And I can already export it right away. So generic store underscore 01. And now what I can do is for like the second generic store, let's select everything, Shift D, and add it to a new layer, generic store underscore 02. And for this one, I'm going to go for, let's do like big windows over here. So let's do like a quick fill hole and fill hole. There we go. So it's like 2 big windows, so the same thing over here. Delete, delete. Oh, let's not forget to delete like the top faces. Same over here, just delete those top faces. Fill these holes up. And then for this one, it might be cool if we do like the same thing as that we've done before, where we basically grab these 2 pieces and do like a Ctrl E and push them out like a little bit, and then another Ctrl E to push them out a little bit more, and then grab these pieces and Ctrl E again and push this out up until like the top. And you don't really need to worry about the top over here as far as I can remember, because you will not be able to look through the glass. Yes, so because we are not going to have it that you can see through this glass because they are generic. I don't want to make interiors for them. They should be fine. So I should be able to just grab this door, push this back here, and maybe do like some very small adjustments simply by kind of like moving this out or something like that. For now, you should not really be able to notice anything special with that. And then maybe for this one, what I want to do is I want to extrude this. Oh wait, actually let's do Ctrl E extrude. Oh hey, that's interesting. Let's try that again. Ctrl E extrude. There we go. I just messed up my selection. There we go. So we got something like this. I think I also need to add like the top. Here we go. See? So we got like something quite basic like that. And I guess the only thing if you want to make it look nicer is you can place a beam, let's say from here to here. And push it out like that so that here, so that you can like kind of see it. And then the same thing on this side. And as you can see, like all of this stuff, I'm not doing it very precisely, but later on we will have like standardized metrics for all of our window frames and everything, so that we can literally just reuse the same window frame over and over and over again. And then everything becomes really nice, and then it will have like very small little details that will hold the glass in place and all of that kind of stuff. So speaking about glass, with this one, what we do want to do is we do most likely want to actually give it some glass in here. So let's double check and add this to our generic store 02. And to get started with number 01, what I like to do, if I just want to create some very quick glass, is I like to go, you can go to create and curve tools and grab a Bezier curve tool. I just have it in my shelf over here. And then I can click once on this side, click again on this side, and all I need to do is click and drag and kind of like match this up with my frames. Like this. Oh. I accidentally added something extra. So now you just have like this very simple curve. And pretty much the only thing you need to do with this curve is if you go to create and sweep mesh, please note that you will need Maya 2021 or higher for this. So sweep mesh. Set the sweep mesh to be a line. So this will basically apply geometry to your spline, specific geometry. It can be cylinders, it can be rectangles, whatever you want. And set the rotate profile to 90 degrees. So now you can see that I can go up here and I basically have like this very quick and easy way to add some extra glass. And now I can just go in by hand and maybe like push some of these pieces further in, as you can see over here and over here. just try to make it like a little bit nicer, but it doesn't need to be perfect for now. There we go. So it's just so that we block off the glass. And then the last thing that I would do is I would select the glass, right click, assign favorite material, and just assign a new Lambert material. And if you want, you can call this fake_glass. And then we just know that, okay, so there will be fake glass in here, and we can actually make it look like fake glass. So we can save our scene. I think I need to re-export this one. Here, generic store 01. And now if we go to generic store 02, oh, by the way, just assign that glass. Here we go. And for generic store 02, you can once again, you can use a Bezier. And if you want, you can even do this. You can click and use the Bezier like this. And then simply click down here, down here, down here, and down here, and then click and drag again. And then you can see that over here, because a Bezier is like a smooth curve, if I go to isolate mode, you can see that it does not properly align. But what you can do is you can do a shift click and go to Bezier corner, and that will basically allow you to edit the Bezier per point. So per 1 point, and then it will stay in a sharp corner. So I can then go in here and I can just make this whatever I want. And once I'm roughly happy with what I have, I can go create sweep mesh line 90 scale. So it goes very quickly. And also don't forget that with this stuff, if I Bezier 2 over here, with our curve selected, I can still control my curve, so I can still go in here. And when I move it, it will still be linked to my sweep mesh. So I can move this around and get it exactly in the locations I want. So this is going to be very simple to just properly get this here. You can see that over here, there should be like, oh yeah, here it is, like a little point that I can use to kind of like move this. So there you go. So it's very simple stuff. Also, if you want to, for example, add more geometry to these glass panels over here, you can go into your attribute editor and go to your sweep mesh creator 2 and simply turn on optimize and set the precision to 100. And that will give you like a higher precision in your curve. And of course, at this point, it's just a matter of probably like moving this up. I have like a duplicate for some reason. Let me just remove history, because that will break the curve. I don't know why I have that duplicate, but okay. So yeah, basically move this up over here. Right click, assign existing material, fake glass over here. And that's it. That should do the trick. So we can just go ahead and we can export this. Call this generic store 02. And the nice thing is, because of our position, we should be able to just snap it right away. So we should be able to go into Unreal, import our generic store 01 and 02. Then one thing you want to do is you want to go to your materials. Let's quickly open up our plane master and also add a scalar parameter that we will call metallic, but just leave the default to 0. This will give me the ability to just very quickly create some fake glass effect. Even though glass is not metallic, I can still just fake it. So if I go ahead and save this, I don't know why it takes so long to save. Here we go. And now if I go in here, I can, for example, duplicate my gray and just call this fake_glass. And all I really need to do for this one is set my color to be a little bit darker. Set my roughness to be at like 0.1. So that's super shiny. And if you want, you can set your metallic to like 0.5 to make it even more. And for the rest, it's just like playing around with it. But to show you the magic, if we, for example, delete this one, we can simply select this wall. We can go to generic store 01 and we can click and drag this onto our static mesh, and it will instantly replace the mesh. And then I can just do this with like the fake glass. And now you can see that we have like this shiny glass over here. Same over here. delete this one, select this one, generic store 02. And if you want, some fake glass again. Or you can of course apply the fake glass into your actual stores, but since I only need to place 3, I'm a little bit lazy, so I'm just going to go in here. Let's use generic store 01 again, and there we go. And that's it. We now have an entire row already selected. Let's set my metallic to maybe like 0.2 and my color a little bit higher over here. But that's pretty much it. So as you can see over here, we now have a bunch of generic stores over here. We have a bunch of normal stores over here. If you want, you can add even more stores down here, but for now I will leave it at this. And that is looking pretty good if I say so myself. Let's save our scene. Play around. So from a ground floor you can still see like some of the stores. And then let's say that you would go into like the top floors. You can see that over here. It will just be a bunch of generic looking stores. Nothing that you can actually go inside. But then if you go around here, we will have all of these stores. And they will be looking very nice and lively and everything. Yeah, the collision is always a bit funky in these areas. Because I just have generated collision. But yeah, so they will look quite nice. Of course the doorways I need to improve. Because, well actually you know what, this might look really really large. But it is always really large in these malls. So I might just make it like a little bit smaller. But for the rest, I will not make a doorway the same way as that you would have in your house. Because those doorways, they just do not match up. Over here, what you can do is you can go ahead and like grab these pieces over here and pretty much just place them into already like a position. Over here I can just scale them up a little bit. There we go. And this is basically also what we will be doing a little bit later on. Is we are going to just create a curved version over here. Oh, here, see, I can see that I should not have scaled this. We are going to create a curved version of our railings. And you know what, we actually have time for that right now. So we should be able to just do that still in this chapter. So let's grab, oh here, see, I need to add this to my layer. Let's grab our railing 01. And let's grab our floor bend, where are you? Floor block tick, floor block bend over here. Let's duplicate our railing 01. And I'm just going to have this like nicely on the corner, as you can see over here. And all I need to do is just add this to a new layer. Railing underscore bend. Save, and we can turn off the original one. And you guessed it. Just give it a bunch of segments like 10. Oh, that's interesting. Really, have I never tried to do this at multiple objects at the same time? I think this is actually the first time in Maya for some reason it's the first time that I try to like do it on multiple objects at the same time. I never knew that wouldn't work. Or is it? Oh no, wait. They are separate models. That's why I was already thinking like that was really strange. Just combine them. Sorry. Oh, I thought I discovered something new, but oh well. So let's add a bend. 15 degrees this time is fine. Low bound can be set to 0. And all we need to do is we just need to rotate this 90 degrees. Set the high bound to something like 2 or 3. And snap the points and snap it to your very corner over here. Oh, really? That is interesting. So I guess that 15 degrees counts for like the outside, but you would expect it to be closer. 10, 7.5. Okay, yeah, so I guess we just needed the 7.5, so we needed to halve it. But anyway, this one is now working, so we can just remove history. We can turn off our floor block tick. We can edit our pivot and snap it to like one of these little corners. And then we can snap this to our grid and export this. So it's a super easy one. This is just going to be railing underscore 02 underscore, or actually 01 underscore bend. The reason I do 02 is in case I want to have like multiple different types of railings. So let's go ahead and add this. And I guess the easiest way to add this is for you to grab all, oh wait, let me first import this before I start doing this. Railing 01 bend. Okay, so the easiest way is probably to just grab all of this stuff, all of your bend pieces. Over here. Then do a Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V, so we are duplicating them. We are moving them up. And then we are simply dragging in our railing bend on all of them, so that it instantly changes. And then we kind of like, here, let's actually do our snapping and kind of like snap it to the top over here. This is curious. Huh? How did this happen? This stuff should not happen. That there is like a bend over here. I have no idea. Did I mess something up? Let me just quickly undo this, because I literally only now saw it for the first time. No, I did not mess anything up. You can just do Ctrl-Y to redo it. Okay, that's awkward. I don't know where this happened, but let's just press V. And let's snap it on these corners, and then I guess I will do like some kind of scaling. I have no idea why this happened. But okay, it is fixable. We can just do like, for now, just some careful scaling. And then later on, if it is giving me problems, for example, like a flickering effect or anything like that, I can fix it later on. So, okay, anyway. We got those things done. Now over here, over here the bending is fine. All we need to do for this one is we need to go ahead and we need to kind of like push this. And maybe move this out. Oh yeah, here it is like really close by the edge. That is true, it is very close by the edge. But the annoying thing is that if I just move this back, it most likely will not like me doing that. Here, if I move it back and then maybe also snap it twice to the side. 1, 2. I guess that is close enough. I can scale this up a little bit, turn off my snapping. And then for this one, it's like a unique one to maybe give it like a, here, maybe if I give it like a rotation, 180, it will make it easier for me to do like a closer positioning over here. And for now, I'll just like leave it like this. That should be fine. And then for these pieces, yes, it is a little bit more annoying, but I guess that we can just have them also moving backwards, and then they will clip inside of my pillars, which in turn hopefully means that it will look natural. So we are gonna go 1, 2, and then also on this axis, 1, 2. So that should give it an even look. And then over here, this is like the only one where it is a little bit of like an awkward position again. So if we just rotate this 180, turn off our snapping to grid, just kind of like carefully snap this together like that. So we got those pieces over here. And then at this point, here, see? I am really messing up a lot or not? I guess that I just don't look close enough when I snap. So if I snap this one back, should it work? No, that snaps too much. I need to snap by like... I need to snap like lower even. 1, 2. Technically, that still does not snap properly. I don't know why I am snapping this so badly. Okay, let's just keep it like this for now and I'll just see how it goes. Like, those are really small problems that I will just fix later on. I don't really want to spend all my time fixing them right now. So, over here, I'm just going to set my snapping back to 5. Push this up once. And I will first of all just place this into like its position. Over here. And now I can just continue on with like normal snapping. Pretty much. Go over here and probably this one is like one of the few ones that I can scale. And of course, we can also go ahead and we can move it over here. Over here, we don't need the scaling, so we can just set this back to 1. And then it's just as simple as pushing this out. Oh, looks like I need to push this one further. Here we go. And then maybe over here you do want to do like a small bit of scaling. Just so that you can properly go around the corner. But anyway, we are going way over time right now. So this is something that we will do in the next chapter. So in next chapter it will be mostly small details. And after that we will probably just focus on the ceiling and then we are done with our block out. So let's go ahead and continue this in our next chapter.